Well, long time no see. Sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a little while. I've been dealing with some big headaches with the high compression F23A van. Where it stands right now is I've done 2 or 3 head gaskets on it. Let me try to make the story as short as possible. I picked up the same year Audi I have, a 98, from a guy who somebody sabotaged the motor, and so the head had a seized camshaft. So I went ahead and there's not a lot of boneyards around where I'm from, and going to one in the winter time is nearly impossible anyway. So I ordered one of these heads you can get off the reman heads from eBay, from a seller that does a lot of Honda heads, and you had to ship in your core. Okay, well, I put that on another engine I had, and it never sealed right, and I chalked it up to the block being bad. So I sat on it for a little while, and then this engine I just put together that you see in the previous videos, which was an old head that originally was from my Audi, and a block that was from this other Audi that I rebuilt with the A3 pistons. And I was having an issue with that, and like I explained in the other videos, that could have been completely because of the sanding method I did with the other head there. So I said, oh, let me just throw on this reman head and a new gasket and torque it down and see what happens. So I did that, and it started peeing and coolant down the front of the block right from under the head. I said, son of a bitch, man. Maybe it's, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe I missed something. I've done plenty of head gaskets before. It's not rocket science to do a head gasket on a 4-banger. Let me do it again. Went ahead, got another head gasket, even used new bolts, torqued them bitches down. I don't know if you guys realize that even though the F22, the F23, the H23, the H22 all share a lot of very similar things. Obviously, the difference is single overhead cam and dual overhead cam. But for instance, this H22 head, the bolts have a specific torque pattern of 3 different torque settings you do in a sequence. And you spiral outwards. And it ends at like 72 foot-pounds, something like that on that. And the same with the F22 and the H23, but the F23 has a specific torque pattern in which you torque it down to 22 foot-pounds, and then you do 2 90-degree turns on the thing. I've never really liked that, and I was thinking maybe that was my issue, and I still don't know. It's probably fine. It's probably a fine torque measure, but it's always I was chalking it up to that being the issue. Now I'm thinking that the head that I got was a reman. When I pulled off the cam to put it in there, because I didn't, that way I could just slid the cam cockeye in there and hook it onto the timing belt. And I noticed under one of the cam caps it had a whole bunch of gouges on it. So this is a reman head, right? And so luckily I caught that in time. I took a cam cap off my other head I knew was good, put it together and slapped it on there. So it's 2 head gaskets now. I just finished it tonight, and I started pouring. I did water this time because I wanted to make sure everything was good. Luckily I didn't waste another gallon of $12 Walmart coolant. But yeah, I put it in there. As soon as I did that, she started peeing down. Now, I did this specific sequence, and I tell you what, every bolt, where is the thing at? I got one of these deals here. I threw this on just to see what the torque numbers would be after that second 90-degree turn. I shouldn't say these are newer bolts. They weren't new bolts, because new bolts you would actually do 3 90-degree turns, 270 degrees total. These were just new bolts off an engine that never had a head gasket done yet, so they were pretty much new still. Whereas the other bolts I was using I had taken off a few times, and I thought, well, maybe that was the issue. This has a peak a peak reading on it. And so I wanted to see what all the peak, and they were all over 100 foot-pounds. Right in between 100 to 106 foot-pounds is what they came out to be. That's pretty high considering the H22 had, they specifically ask you to only put 72 foot-pounds of torque on it. So I can't imagine that it wasn't squeezing down enough. So here's where I'm at now, just to give you guys an update on the channel. I'm finally getting this thing put together. I am going to give her a bath. Got the clutch that it came with the with one of the blocks and trannies I bought at F23. Have the master and slave for the clutch here and the clutch lines. Got a couple of parts I got to get, some odds and ends. I'm going to get a knock sensor, oil filter cooler, large O-ring, and gasket. I forget what the heck did I write there. Boy, I suck. Anyways, we got the clutch and the brake pedal set up here to go manual swap in the Audi. And yeah, I got the rest of this stuff, the water neck, the mounts and stuff like that. And let's see. I'm going to give that thing a bath and a paint. I got the H22 intake manifold there. I don't know if I showed you guys that. But this is the tranny I'm putting in there for right now into the Audi. There's the code on if you want to know what hoopty I'm putting in there. But luckily, whoever I got this from cut it here, and so I still got all my clips and stuff. But oh, and then the most important part of the swap, obviously, is shifter. I forget if this comes out of 6-channel cord or not. Either way, it'll work. So there you have it. So this is the next step. I'm going to scrap the high compression F23 just because I don't want to have to rip that all down and send it into a machine shop to get it pressure tested. So I'm just going to go with this guy right here. Again, this is going to be an 8.8 to 1 compression because it's going to be using stock rods and pistons from the F23 block. I'm going to throw a turbo on it through a little eBay log manifold right here. Little $55 log manifold, maybe. I haven't decided which turbo I want to put on it yet. Because this T3 T4 deal is kind of coined for the, kind of spoken for in the Civic. So I guess this GT35 or GT3582 could go in the Audi. I still need to get intercooler piping for the Audi if I do that. I still need to get, well, I need to get pretty much everything other than the turbo for the Audi. Wastegate, manifold, intercooler piping, intercooler. I still need to get an ECU. Well, let me think here. Yeah. So, yeah, we got quite a bit ahead. I still got to put this ECU in the Civic and start playing with that chrome. See if I can figure out tuning on my own. Maybe blow up that D16 and then I'll have a reason to get one of these other F23s swapped in there, right? So yeah, hopefully that'll be what I cut the video here because it's super depressing. Come on. Subscribe, comment, like the video. I'll catch you later, bud. Bye.